Thanks so much for sticking around for NewsNation Now. I'm Alex Capriello, in for Connell McShane on this Thanksgiving. We're so glad that you joined us on this holiday. That was President Biden earlier today in Nantucket telling reporters he'll be able to talk more on Friday about the long-awaited hostage deal. At around 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we expect at least 13 hostages, only women and children, to be released. That's all according to Qatar, who has helped negotiate this deal. But who exactly will be released in this first round remains unknown, including if the 3-year-old American girl will be among those set free. For the very latest, let's go live now to correspondent Sam Mednick, who joins us from Jerusalem. Sam, what can we expect from this truce that's taking effect in just a couple of hours?
Well, what we know is that it was supposed to kick in today, but it is supposed to go into effect at 7 a.m. local time on Friday. 9 hours after that, the first batch of hostages, 13 people, are supposed to be released. Now, Qatar said on Thursday, its foreign ministry in Qatar has been crucial in these negotiations. They said that Israel and Hamas have both exchanged the list of the names of the people who are going to be involved in this. Israel has communicated that to the families. The idea is that if a family has had more than one person abducted, that those people will be released all together. Now, the terms of this deal is that there are going to be 50 people from the side of Israel in exchange for 150 Palestinian prisoners who are in Israel. Right now, these are minors and women. There's also going to be a 4-day truce, a ceasefire where there will be no fighting. Hamas said that Israel will not fly its planes over the south of Gaza, and that for 6 hours each day it will not fly its planes either over the north of Gaza. Now, there is the possibility that this ceasefire could be extended. Israel said it is open to that. And what that would look like is there would be days with no fighting. The more days with no fighting, there would be 10 hostages released each of those days. Hostage negotiators say they're hoping, ideally, they want all the civilian hostages released. So maybe this could extend to 8 or 9 days, but it really depends on how these first few days go. Also part of this deal is going to be an extension of aid into Gaza, much needed assistance because the humanitarian situation is dire. Hamas said there's going to be hundreds of trucks coming in. They're going to bring fuel, they're going to bring medical assistance, and they're going to reach all of Gaza, particularly the north, where this fighting has been the fiercest. But I've spoken to some people in Gaza and on the Israeli side, and they say they have mixed feelings. Civilians in Gaza say they don't really think this is going to help them. 4 days of a pause isn't a lot to change the situation. And on the Israeli side, I've spoke to a family of the hostages. One man has 2 of his brothers taken hostage. He knows they're not going to be released in this first batch. He says he feels mixed about it, and in general, the whole situation has just been a nightmare.
Sam, as you shared, it's 50 hostages for 150 Palestinian prisoners. I'm curious if we know anything more about who these prisoners are, what their backstory is. Could they potentially add into the conflict now that they've been released? What more do you know about those Palestinian prisoners?
Well, what we know is that Israel released a list the other day of 300 names of potential prisoners that could be swapped. The majority of these are teenage boys. A lot of them have been put into Israeli custody for offenses such as throwing stones or disturbing the public peace. A lot of them were apprehended in the West Bank in recent years during some of the fighting. What we know is that people on that list have not been accused of killing people, but we don't know too much about them. We also don't know particularly when they will be released. We know that the Israeli hostages will be released first, the first tranche of 13, and then sometime after that will be the Palestinians will be released also in batches over the coming days.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.